day, my beautiful people. We're back up in this house. I hope everything is good and all is well with all of you. We are back. We are back with another video. We are watching IU featuring Suga and produced by Suga. 8. Today's song 8 by IU. And it's feature Suga from BTS. Y'all know I love Suga. Suga is probably the it producer for me, the it songwriter for me. Kind of unspoken, I'd say, muse for me. So I'm very much so curious, to see what kind of a song it will be, what kind of a vibe, whether we will hear, this kind of signature kind of Min Yoongi kind of sound within this production. I'm very, very curious about it. I read the lyrics for the song. Super sad, super nostalgic. So I'm very curious to see what the video is like. I'm very curious to hear what the music is like, what kind of sound they both were going for this specific track. So we will get it, we will watch it, we will try to pick, some details and whatnot. And we're gonna enjoy it. I'm very, very much so looking forward to hearing this. So let's get it, let's watch it. IU featuring Suga 8. Let's get it. Ooh, that bass already. Okay, beautiful acoustic guitars. Ooh, I love the sample with the guitar. Ooh, okay. I love the bass. I love the bass line. We hear beautiful synthesizers in the back, some strings, acoustic guitars, electric guitars. I love her voice. She has such a unique voice. I love it. Ooh. Oh, beautiful octaves. Very indie vibe. I love his vocals so much. And the mix between them is so cool, so cool. They vibe with each other very, very well, like vocally. Tone-wise as well. The animation is beautiful. Wow. The 2D version. Oh, that's kind of like a past memories and stuff. Looks like it. Or like the younger version of it. Because like the animation also looks kind of young. Ooh. Claps. I love the bass line. The bass line is super, super funky. I love it. It's very light, but beautiful. Oh no, don't cry. I love the harmonies. A lot of octaves. Wow, this is beautiful. Such a short song though. Oh, I love this kind of very vinyl analog kind of recording of her voice. A lot of delay on it. Wow. She looks stunning. She looks stunning. 8. Produced and featuring Suga of BTS. This was so beautiful. This was so beautiful. Even the music, like I was reading like the lyrics, right? Before we talk about the music, like I was reading like the lyrics of the track, like the English translation for them. A lot of beautiful people on Twitter were translating the song, and like even like the translation, I assume like the Korean version of it, you know, has more of that impact and kind of emotion, but you could get that even with like the English translations. You could even get that nostalgia, right? That kind of mindset filled with a lot of memories, right? And how you view, you know, the memories, whether you want to hold on to them, whether you want to let them go, right? And everything like that. So it's just wonderful. I feel like even though the message for the song and kind of like this outline for the lyrics, it's quite sad, right? If you read them, they're super sad in some kind of way, kind of sappy, more sad than happy, but you know, you get the idea. And it's kind of giving you, you know, that nostalgia because of all those memories and thinking of the memories, you know, and kind of reminding and being, you know, in this kind of mindset filled with a lot of memories and everything like that. So that gave me a lot of nostalgia personally. So now hearing the song, so now hearing like the actual music for it, here seeing like the visuals for the video and how the video has been made, right? Because we get, you know, this beautiful, very industrial kind of setting, right? With this kind of memory kind of box, kind of tank, whatever kind of tank that was, where she was just laying there, and then, you know, kind of like this 2D animation, 3D animation, right? This kind of visual, like the video, like the actual, like the video footage of it, kind of that, all that kind of mix, and the color schemes and the tones and everything, and how they kind of went with this idea with the animation and how the animation was pursued. I think it was just a great touch, right? And kind of portrayed the message, I feel like, and the lyrics a little bit better, kind of visually. But if we talk about the music, y'all know I love these kind of style of songs, right? These more of acoustic, live instrument, indie style of songs. I always enjoy them. I've personally played them the most. So, and I just, you know, I just vibe with it very, very much. So I love the bass line on this. It's a very, very light touch kind of a bass, very simple bass line on, you know, like eighth notes and everything like that, like a few riffs, you know, here and there, and some slides and whatnot, but the tone for the bass is very, very beautiful. I love it. It's a very, very bright tone bass, right? It's mixed in beautifully, right? And you can hear those mids very, very well. You can hear, you know, that slight low end right within the mix, and it's very, very beautiful. I love the pianos, love the synthesizers, right? I love the strings, kind of like these analog style of pianos there in the back, right? That slight kind of vinyl-y kind of sound, that very old school kind of indie sound, right? I love it. That is just a sound that I usually go for when I make tracks myself, and I enjoy it quite a lot. And I love that people, especially now, you know, use it a lot more. And they even, you know, I wouldn't say that kind of has become a little more mainstream, you know, but it's becoming, you know, more and more popular to use, you know, these kind of old vintagey kind of sounds and making them, you know, modern. And I love that, you know, that they kind of went with this approach. You know, I assume Suga, you know, That's also kind of Suga's kind of thing. He loves, analog sounds in general. So I think that's kind of his touch here. I love the guitars. I love the acoustic guitars on it. I love the mix between the electric guitar kind of riffs and kind of that slight little solo with the sample there. That was very, very beautiful. Love the tone also for the guitars. Love the acoustic guitars. The acoustic guitars on this are very, very bright. Y'all know personally I like a very muddy acoustic instrument. I like a very, very full tone, kind of like a barrel, like an old barrel kind of style tone. For like acoustic guitars, that's kind of my thing personally. But if a track has a very beautiful bright tone, right, acoustic guitar, and it just sounds beautiful, especially right with those analog sounds, it's just great. It vibes well, it's just great. Plus with our vocals on top of it, plus those guitars, like electric guitars, a lot of there's slight chorus on those guitars. There's slight phaser for those guitars, right? Some delay on it, a lot of reverb on top of that, right? And it kind of makes this very airy, very ambient kind of sound of guitar, just to mostly to fill out the gaps. Because if we kind of think about the arrangement as it is as a full, right, it's very simple if you kind of think about it. A lot of parts are repeating themselves, right, especially when it comes to like chord progression, when it comes to like the actual bass line. We didn't have like these intricate, these syncopations. We didn't have intricate, these stop times, right? These kind of mid-sentence kind of production kind of pauses within the track. And it's just super, super interesting how simplicity was the key, right? The simplicity was the key here within the song. Like instrument wise and like the arrangement wise and like the tones that they chose, right? They're very airy, very beautiful, a lot of vintage inspired sounds. And I feel like this suits IU's vocals super, super well. Like her voice has been one of the most unique ones I have personally heard throughout I'd say my entire journey of enjoying K-pop and just Korean artists in general. And her voice has always stood out to me, and her control over her voice, right, and her kind of stability and just control over her, like the lower register and like falsettos and everything. We heard a lot of octaves that she sang. We heard some harmonies, some three-part harmonies, sometimes at some phrasings, somewhere might be like a 4-part harmony, but like mostly it's like a 3-part harmony, but mostly like octaves, like gang vocal style of octaves, and they're just beautifully panned out, right? So we get one set of vocals in one ear, one set of vocals in another ear, right? Then the other set of vocals just panned like directly, right? So they so the sound is generally just produced from both sides, so it's kind of straight cutting through. If we kind of look at the radius, how you pan sound, right? So there's one end, there's another end, and then there's like the straight through one. That's kind of like the main vocal there. So a lot of vocal kind of layering, in a sense that, right, those octaves, make that kind of a choir-ish kind of a gang vocal style of background vocals, and then of course for the lead vocals there are also some layered vocals, just to kind of make it more fuller tone wise, and to just emphasize the tone and everything. I loved Suga's verse. Suga, I love Suga, like his style of rapping in general. He's very nasally. He sometimes he gets very very nasally when he raps, and it's great. He's very very percussive, very very rhythmic. He's all about the rhythm. He's all about the tempo, the syncopation, and just the phrasing. So that's his kind of like a general style. But lately, we've seen him sing more, which is great. I think that he's a beautiful baritone, and even with that nasaliness, right? And I don't mean nasaliness in a bad way, because I feel like that style kind of tone suits him very very well. It suits him very 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 well, and it kind of brings his voice more forward, right? It's more, I feel like, recognizable. That's his kind of style, and the tone and manner that he has chosen, which is great. I feel like that sets him apart as an artist in general. So and I just love it. But he gets also singy within this, right? And we love, and like I personally I love, and I know that a lot of BTS fans, right, they love that Yoongi is singing, right? And he has been singing a lot more recently, which is pretty cool. And I love that he's singing on this as well. And his tone is beautiful. It's unique, and you can hear that uniqueness, right? And it's just great. And they're mixed, right? Like IU's vocals mixed with Yoongi's vocals on it. It's beautiful, right? They're like style-wise, tone-wise, they're very different, like from two completely different worlds. But it's great how they kind of found this middle ground, and they just sound stunning. They sound stunning, and I just love this tone choice within the song. Both goes from instrumentation point of view, like the mixing, the arranging, right, the vocals, the ad vocals, right, the gang vocals, right, the kind of chorusy kind of background vocals that we hear very very far in the back. It's great. I feel like it also kind of pushes IU in a, I wouldn't say in a different direction, kind of music wise, but it's definitely kind of opened up this. It has I feel like this song has opened up more of the possibilities and choices that she can do as an artist and as a musician and as a vocalist, right? And it's definitely different from any other tracks that we have heard from IU, or I have heard from IU, and it's just beautiful. I think this kind of genre, like this kind of indie artist, kind of more singer-songwriter style of songs, kind of semi-acoustic songs, suit her very very well. I feel like her voice was kind of crafted towards this style of music, and even though we have heard IU with these very produced beats and everything like that, then I feel like this is more of that raw kind of side of IU, which I like very much so, and towards any artist, and if she continues and makes more tracks in this kind of a manner, more of that indie semi-acoustic kind of a manner, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love it. I'm all about it. But yeah, I hope you listen to the track. If you have, let me know what you think. Did you like the song? Did you like the video? What did you think of the video? And let's stream the song. So far, as I've seen from the charts and everything, it's doing really really well. So let's continue streaming, let's continue watching the video, listening to it, and let's support IU, let's support Yoongi, and let's keep listening. It's great. I love it. Definitely adding it to my playlist. And I will leave you to it, as I usually say. Always remember to be good, be kind, rock and roll. And I will see you all very, very soon with a new video. Cheers!